The Lernaean Hydra was a terrifying beast that lived in the ancient land of Lerna, surrounded by lush vegetation and rumored tales of gods and monsters. Its mythology, a tapestry woven with strands of bravery and terror, has endured through the ages and had a lasting impression on Greek mythology. A long time ago, the Hydra established its lair in a dismal swamp beneath the Argolid Hills. Mortals were terrified by the terrifying sight of the beast, which had venomous breath and coils of serpents. The Hydra was not your typical beast. Rather, it was a divine retribution and the outward expression of the god's ruler Hera's fury. The story of the Hydra began with Typhon, a hideous being born of Tartarus, the abyss underneath, and Gaia, the earth. With his intimidating looks and unrivaled might, Typhon attempted to take on the gods themselves. Typhon's roars shook the heavens as he waged war against the gods in a cosmic confrontation. The gods united to protect their domain, led by Zeus, the monarch of Olympus. The Lernaean Hydra, which emerged from the terrible coupling of Typhon and the monster mother Echidna, slithered out of the depths of the underworld during this turbulent conflict. With a deep-seated grudge toward Zeus and his adopted son, Hera raised the Hydra in a malevolent manner, transforming it into a tool of divine vengeance. Shrouded in an unearthly mist, the Hydra's lair in the Lernaean swamp turned into a terrifying location. Its several heads, each more lethal than the last, hissed and snapped. Some stories mention 9, others a multitude. The Hydra's remarkable capacity to regrow new heads in lieu of each one that was severed was what made it so terrifying. A lengthy, menacing shadow was cast by the Hydra's presence in the nearby settlement of Lerna. Fear hovered in the air like an unsaid plague, upsetting livelihoods. King Eurystheus, who was well known for his shrewd mind and habit of assigning his cousin Heracles seemingly impossible tasks, heard the people's frantic screams. Hera's sly manipulation of him gave Eurystheus the idea to get rid of Heracles. The monarch gave Heracles the challenging duty of killing the Hydra and restoring peace to Lerna under the pretense of defending his subjects. Despite the seriousness of the task, Heracles set off on his treacherous expedition. Heracles arrived at the Lernaean swamp with a sword crafted by the heavenly blacksmith Hephaestus and his fabled cloak made of lion hide. When he faced the Hydra, the very air seemed to coil with tension. The ensuing struggle was a chaotic and desperate symphony. Every time Heracles swung his powerful sword, a head would fall and be replaced by 2 more. The air was heavy with the smell of venom, and the hero was drawn into the death spiral dance. Hera watched from her heavenly throne, delighted in the tragedy that was developing. Heracles had a flash of heavenly inspiration and came up with a crafty plan. Seeing that he was going to be unable to outwit the Hydra's ability to regenerate itself, he turned to his nephew Iolaus for support. Together, they faced the Hydra, Heracles brandishing his sword and Iolaus using a flaming torch to cauterize the stumps of cut heads in order to stop regeneration. The marsh reverberated with the sound of Heracles' triumphal yells and the roars of the Hydra as the combat continued. The hero's determination increased with each severed head, driven by a combination of anger and the unbreakable spirit that made him who he was. Ultimately, Heracles used a powerful blow to chop off the immortal head of the Hydra and bury it behind a huge boulder so it would never grow again. The once dangerous heads of the Lernaean Hydra lay motionless and defeated. Liberated from the bonds of dread, the people of Lerna praised Heracles as their rescuer. Hera's anger, however, did not abate, and her vengeance against the hero remained unwavering despite his famous hardships. A tribute to the unwavering spirit of bravery in the face of overwhelming difficulties is the story of the Lernaean Hydra. It is a tale woven into Greek mythology, ready to be repeated through the ages, of heavenly fury, mortal bravery, and the never-ending conflict between gods and humans.